The massive alien ships appeared on a Tuesday morning. They came without warning, their dark hulls blocking out the stars as they positioned themselves just beyond Mars' orbit. Earth's military satellites picked them up first, and within hours, every news channel worldwide was showing the same footage. 12 obsidian black vessels, each larger than Manhattan, hanging in space like silent predators. Inside the United Nations Emergency Council chamber in New York, 30 world leaders sat in stunned silence as they watched the first transmission from the alien fleet. The alien commander's face filled the massive screen, gray-skinned, with 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and what appeared to be armored plates running down the sides of its neck. People of Earth, the alien spoke in perfect English, its voice deep and resonating. I am Fleet Commander Gax of the Stellar Dominion. We have studied your world from afar and know of your reputation. We come seeking your mightiest beast for combat trials. The room erupted in confused murmurs. General Tom Parker of the United States stood up, his face red with concern. What exactly do you mean by combat trials? He asked, his voice steady despite the tension. The alien commander's upper eyes narrowed. We seek to test ourselves against your most fearsome predator. Our records show your world is home to creatures of great might. We demand you present your ultimate beast within 3 of your Earth days. As the transmission ended, chaos broke out in the chamber. Representatives shouted over each other, some suggesting tigers from India, others promoting African lions, and a few even mentioning prehistoric creatures they could no longer provide. In the back of the room, Jack Wilson sat quietly, absently scratching behind the ears of his German Shepherd service dog Bear. As a junior diplomat from Canada, he hadn't expected to be part of such a historic moment. Bear had been with him since his recovery from a car accident 3 years ago, helping him deal with his anxiety and mobility issues. Perhaps, the Russian representative's voice boomed over the chaos. We should show them footage of our most dangerous predators and let them choose. The suggestion brought order back to the room. Within hours, they had compiled videos of Earth's most impressive predators. Lions taking down wildebeest, tigers hunting in the jungle, polar bears breaking through ice, and killer whales hunting in packs. When they transmitted the footage to the alien fleet, Commander Gax's response was unexpected. These are mere animals, the alien said dismissively. We seek the beast the humans have truly mastered, the one that lives among you. The confusion in the room grew. Jack felt Bear shift against his leg, and without thinking, he reached down to comfort him. The movement caught Commander Gax's attention through the video feed that was still running. There! The alien commander shouted, causing everyone in the room to jump. The beast that stands guard over the human in the back. That is what we seek. All eyes turned to Jack and Bear. The German Shepherd, sensing the attention, sat up straight and tilted his head, tongue lolling out in a friendly pant. You mean, my dog? Jack asked, bewildered. Dog. Commander Gax tested the word. Yes, this creature that combines the speed of your wolves with the loyalty of a warrior. We have observed how you have bred them for combat, how they guard your dwellings and support your warriors. This is the true beast of Earth. Bear chose that moment to let out a happy woof and wag his tail, which the aliens interpreted as some kind of war cry. The commander's 4 eyes widened with what looked like respect. This is perfect, declared Commander Gax. Prepare your dog warrior for combat trials. We will test ourselves against Earth's mighty beast. As the transmission ended for the second time, Jack looked down at Bear, who was now rolling over hoping for a belly rub. The fate of Earth's first alien contact apparently rested on the shoulders of a German Shepherd who still chased his own tail and was afraid of vacuum cleaners. Well, Jack said to the silent room, this should be interesting. The next morning, the UN building buzzed with activity as experts from around the world arrived to demonstrate their dangerous animals. Jack sat in the main conference room, watching as Bear happily chewed on his favorite tennis ball, completely unaware of his newfound importance to human-alien relations. Maybe we should show them a police dog in action, suggested one military advisor, watching Bear with doubt. At least those look more fierce. The first transmission of the day began, and Commander Gax's face appeared on the screen. "We are prepared to view your various beast warriors," the alien announced. "Show us their combat capabilities." The presentation began with footage of military working dogs. The aliens watched intently as German Shepherds, Belgian Malinois, and other breeds ran obstacle courses, performed protection work, and tracked hidden targets. Commander Gax's 4 eyes blinked rapidly with excitement. "Yes, these are more like the warriors we seek," the alien declared. "But we have observed even more impressive specimens among your civilian population." The commander then shocked everyone by displaying their own surveillance footage. It showed ordinary dogs in parks playing fetch, jumping into pools, and chasing frisbees. To the aliens, these simple games appeared to be complex combat training exercises. "Look at how they practice aerial interception." Commander Gax pointed at a golden retriever catching a frisbee, and observed their water combat training. The screen showed a Labrador happily splashing in a lake. Jack tried not to laugh as Bear perked up at the sounds of other dogs playing on screen. The tennis ball rolled from his mouth, and he barked once at the footage. "Ah, a war cry from your beast," Commander Gax said with approval. "It recognizes the training protocols." A young scientist raised her hand. "Sir, I think there's been a misunderstanding. These dogs aren't warriors. They're—" "Look," interrupted Commander Gax, pointing to new footage. "Here is proof of their elite status." The screen showed various scenes: a small child hugging a large Rottweiler, an elderly man walking with his poodle, and a family playing with their mixed-breed dog in their backyard. "You trust them with your young, your elderly, and your families," the commander said with what seemed like awe. "Only the most disciplined and lethal warriors would be granted such honor." Bear chose this moment to roll over on his back, paws in the air, asking for belly rubs. Jack automatically reached down to scratch his stomach, causing the dog's back leg to kick with pleasure. "Extraordinary!" Commander Gax shouted, making everyone jump. The beast performs ritual submission to acknowledge its handler's superior rank. Such discipline. Such perfect hierarchy. The alien commander turned to address someone off-screen, speaking in their native language. When they turned back, their tone was formal. "We have decided. Tomorrow, we will conduct the first combat trial with the beast called Bear. His obvious elite status and close bond with his commander make him the perfect candidate." Jack raised his hand nervously. "Commander, Bear isn't really. We will prepare our most sacred combat arena." Gax continued enthusiastically. "Your beast warrior shall face our challenges with honor." As the transmission ended, Bear had already forgotten about his belly rubs and was back to playing with his tennis ball, occasionally throwing it up in the air himself and pouncing on it. General Parker walked over to Jack, watching Bear play with the ball. "Well, son," he said with a mix of amusement and concern, "looks like humanity's fate rests on your dog's shoulders. Or should I say, our elite warrior's shoulders." Jack looked down at Bear, who had now managed to wedge his tennis ball under a chair and was pawing at it while making small whining noises. "Maybe we should have mentioned that his biggest victory in combat was against a squeaky toy," Jack muttered, reaching down to help Bear retrieve his ball. The general patted his shoulder. "Too late now. Better make sure our mighty warrior gets plenty of rest before tomorrow's combat trials." Bear, having finally gotten his ball back, celebrated by spinning in a happy circle and then flopping down for a nap, snoring softly with the tennis ball still in his mouth. The evening before the combat trials, Jack sat in an emergency meeting with Earth's top diplomats and animal behavior experts. Bear lay at his feet, dreaming and occasionally twitching in his sleep, his paws moving as if chasing something. "We have to tell them the truth," said Dr. Miller, a leading veterinarian. "Dogs are companions, not warriors. This is getting out of hand." The UN Secretary General shook her head. We tried 3 times today. Each time we mentioned dogs being companions, they became more convinced of their warrior status. They think we're trying to protect our military secrets. On the large screen behind them, recordings from their latest attempt played. Jack watched as earlier that day they had tried showing the aliens footage of dogs in their everyday lives. "Here's a dog having a bath," the diplomat had said, showing a golden retriever playing in a bathtub. "Ah, yes," Commander Gax had replied. "Chemical warfare resistance training." They showed dogs sleeping on couches. Advanced rest protocols for battle readiness, the aliens declared. Even footage of puppies playing had backfired. Early combat training, starting from infancy. Brilliant. Now, as the experts argued about their next steps, Jack felt Bear stir at his feet. The German shepherd sat up suddenly, ears perked. A moment later, the alien transmission signal chimed. Commander Gax appeared on screen, but this time, they weren't alone. Behind them stood what appeared to be some sort of alien pet, a 6-legged creature with scales and feathers. "Behold," Gax announced proudly. "This is my personal combat companion, Kest. It has won many battles and brought great honor to my house." Kest made a sound like a mix between a chirp and a growl. Bear's tail started wagging immediately. "Your beast shows recognition of a fellow warrior," Gax said excitedly. Then Kest did something unexpected. It tilted its head in curiosity, exactly like dogs do. Bear let out a friendly woof, and to everyone's surprise, Kest responded with its own cheerful chirping sound. "Remarkable," Gax shouted. "They are already establishing combat communications." Jack watched as Bear did his signature play bow, front end down, rear end up, tail wagging furiously. Kest, to everyone's amazement, attempted to mirror the position with its 6 legs. Such synchronized combat stances, Gax was practically bouncing with excitement. "This confirms it. Tomorrow's trials will be legendary." After the transmission ended, the room fell silent. Dr. Miller spoke first. Did anyone else just see that? Their combat companion acted exactly like a pet, Jack finished. "Yeah, I think our aliens might have the same misunderstanding with their own animals." The Secretary General rubbed her temples. "Are you saying that both species think their companion animals are warriors? That we've all just been playing with our pets while thinking the other side has war beasts?" Bear, unaware of this breakthrough in interspecies relations, had gone back to sleep, this time snoring slightly. "Tomorrow's combat trials might be interesting," Jack said, watching his dog twitch in his dreams again. "I just hope their idea of combat is as misunderstood as everything else." The Secretary General stood up. "Mr. Wilson, we need you and Bear to be ready at 800 hours tomorrow. Whatever these trials are, Earth's first alien relations depend on them." As people filed out of the room, Jack knelt beside Bear, who woke up enough to lick his face. "Ready to make history, buddy?" he asked, scratching behind Bear's ears. Bear's response was to roll over for more belly rubs, causing several diplomats to jump as Commander Gax's voice suddenly boomed through the room again. "We see your beast is practicing ritual combat roles. Excellent preparation. Tomorrow will be glorious." Jack looked down at Bear, who was now completely upside down, tongue lolling out, waiting for his belly rub. "Yeah," he sighed. "Glorious is definitely one word for it." The next morning, Jack found himself aboard the alien flagship, standing in what they called the sacred combat arena. Bear trotted happily beside him, completely unfazed by their strange surroundings. The arena, as it turned out, looked suspiciously like a giant playground. "These are our most challenging combat obstacles," Commander Gax announced proudly, pointing at what appeared to be the universe's biggest obstacle course. There were tunnels, ramps, platforms to jump between, and even a section that looked exactly like a water park. Jack stared at the setup. "This is your combat arena. Yes, only the most elite warriors may enter this sacred space. Gax's 4 eyes gleamed with excitement. Observe as Kest demonstrates the proper combat techniques. The alien's 6-legged companion bounded forward, tail-like appendage wagging, and proceeded to play. It ran through tunnels, jumped over barriers, and splashed in the water features with unmistakable joy. The alien officials watched with serious expressions, taking notes on their devices. Perfect execution of tactical maneuvers. One alien official commented as Kest did a belly slide through a puddle. Bear was practically vibrating with excitement, pulling slightly at his leash. Jack looked at the UN officials who had accompanied them. They were all trying very hard not to laugh. Now, Commander Gax announced, "Let your beast demonstrate its prowess." Jack unclipped Bear's leash. "Okay, buddy, go play. I mean, engage in tactical maneuvers." Bear shot forward like a furry missile, heading straight for Kest. The aliens tensed, expecting fierce combat. Instead, Bear dropped into a play bow, tail wagging so hard his whole body wiggled. Kest immediately mimicked the pose. The ritual combat greeting. Gax whispered in awe. They show each other proper warrior respect. What followed was the most intense game of tag the universe had ever seen. Bear and Kest chased each other through tunnels, splashed together in the pools, and took turns pouncing on each other. The alien officials recorded everything, making serious comments about advanced evasion techniques and synchronized battle movements. When Bear found a stick-like object and brought it to Jack, the aliens went wild. "It retrieves tactical equipment for its commander," one alien shouted. Jack threw the stick, and both Bear and Kest raced to retrieve it. They ended up playing tug-of-war with it, growling playfully. "Observe the weapons training exercise," Gax declared. Such coordination. The combat trials continued for hours. Bear and Kest played fetch, chased each other, and eventually flopped down together in a sunny spot for a nap. The aliens recorded this too, muttering about synchronized rest protocols. As Jack watched the two animals sleeping peacefully side by side, he noticed something interesting. Commander Gax had stopped taking notes and was just watching. Their expression had softened, and they were absent-mindedly reaching down to pet Kest's scaled head. "You know," Jack said carefully, "on Earth, we have a special word for what Bear is to me." "Yes," Gax replied, still petting Kest. "A mighty warrior and combat companion. Actually, we call them friends." Jack knelt down to scratch Bear's belly. "They make us happy, keep us company, and yes, sometimes protect us. But mostly, they're family." Gax was quiet for a moment, watching Kest lean into their touch. Perhaps we have a similar word in our language. Though we never use it officially, of course. For official records, they must remain combat companions. The commander winked 2 of their 4 eyes at Jack, and in that moment, understanding passed between them. The combat trials had revealed something far more important than military prowess. They had discovered that both species shared the simple joy of loving their pets. Bear chose that moment to wake up and give Kest a friendly lick on the face. The alien pet responded by nuzzling Bear with its snout. For the official record, Gax announced loudly, the combat trials were a great success. Both warriors showed exceptional battle techniques. But Jack noticed the commander was smiling as they said it, still gently petting their sleeping combat companion. The day after the successful combat trials, the alien flagship's main observation deck had been transformed into what the aliens insisted on calling a tactical analysis center. In reality, it looked more like a very high-tech pet daycare. Bear and Kest weren't alone anymore. The aliens had requested more specimens for study, and now a dozen dogs of various breeds played together with several alien pets. A Labrador played fetch with a 3-headed alien creature, a Corgi herded a group of floating furry spheres, and a massive Saint Bernard had become a climbing frame for 2 small, gecko-like alien pets. Jack watched as Commander Gax studied footage from Earth's pet cameras and security systems with increasing amazement. Your warriors live in your homes? Gax asked, watching a video of a dog sleeping on someone's couch. Yes, Jack replied carefully. They're part of our families. Fascinating. Gax made more notes. And these small devices you attach to them. They pointed to a clip of a dog wearing a bow tie. Those are, decorative combat accessories. Brilliant. Gax's 4 eyes widened. Morale-boosting battle gear. We must implement this immediately. Before Jack could respond, Kest waddled past wearing a sparkly pink bow tie that someone from the human delegation had provided. The alien officials nodded approvingly at this tactical upgrade. Meanwhile, Dr. Miller was reviewing the aliens' pet care practices, though they still called it combat companion maintenance protocols. She discovered that despite the military terminology, they treated their animals with the same love and care as humans did. Your healing centers for injured warriors, she said, looking at pictures of what were clearly alien veterinary clinics. They're very advanced. Of course, Gax replied proudly. We must keep our combat companions in peak condition for combat. At that moment, both Bear and Kest ran past chasing a ball, scattering a group of alien officials who tried to maintain dignity while dodging the playful pets. Excellent high-speed pursuit training, one official declared, straightening their uniform after diving out of the way. The humans and aliens had set up what they diplomatically called joint training exercises, essentially a massive playdate. In a large open area of the ship, the sight of serious alien officials taking detailed notes about proper fetch technique and optimal belly rub strategies was almost too much for Jack to watch without laughing. Look how they've mastered interspecies tactical coordination, Gax exclaimed as Bear taught Kest how to play tug-of-war with a rope toy. An alien scientist approached with what looked like an alien version of a squeaky toy. Commander, we've developed new training equipment based on Earth designs. The toy made a weird honking sound when squeezed. Every dog and alien pet in the room immediately stopped what they were doing and stared at it. Chaos ensued as they all rushed to investigate the new toy. Remarkable response time, the scientist noted as the animals played with their new toy. Their tactical reflexes are perfectly synchronized. Later that day, Jack found Commander Gax in a quiet corner, secretly sharing treats with both Bear and Kest. The commander looked around to make sure no other aliens were watching. You know, Gax said quietly, on my homeworld, I have a different name for Kest. Not in official records, of course, but I call him Sparkles. They looked embarrassed, because his scales shimmer in our sun. Jack tried not to smile. Bear's actually afraid of vacuum cleaners, he confided. Some warrior, huh? Gax chuckled, then quickly disguised it as a cough. Kest runs away from his own reflection sometimes. They scratched both animals behind their ears. Perhaps we are not so different, humans and aliens. Maybe that's what our pets have been trying to tell us all along, Jack said, watching Bear and Sparkles curl up together for a nap. An alien official rushed in. Commander, we've prepared the diplomatic report about the successful completion of combat trials. Excellent, Gax replied, quickly hiding the treat bag. Make sure to emphasize the fierce and warrior-like nature of all activities. But as the official left, Gax winked all 4 eyes at Jack and tossed another treat to both sleeping pets. 1 week into the joint training exercises, alarms suddenly blared throughout the alien flagship. Bear and Kest, who had been napping together in their favorite sunny spot on the observation deck, jumped to attention. Before any of the advanced alien sensors could identify the threat, both animals began barking and growling at the starboard viewing window. Just another combat drill, an alien official started to say, but Commander Gax cut them off. No, Gax said sharply, watching Bear and Kest. They'd never reacted this way before. Jack had learned to trust Bear's instincts. Something's wrong, he said. Bear only barks like this when there's real trouble. Seconds later, 3 ships materialized out of nowhere, their stealth systems failing at the last moment. Their design was neither human, nor from Gax's people. "Space pirates!" Gax shouted. "They're using stolen cloaking technology." The pirate ships opened fire, their first volley catching everyone by surprise. The flagship shuddered under the impact. Throughout the ship, dogs and alien pets alike began alerting their humans and aliens, having sensed the danger before any technology did. "Battle stations," Gax commanded. Then, looking at the pets, added, "Secure all combat companions in safe locations." But Bear and Kest had other ideas. As crew members rushed around, Bear suddenly took off running, Kest right behind him. They headed straight for a specific corridor. "Wait," shouted an alien engineer, running after them. "The backup shield controls are down that way. They're not responding, and we need them." Jack and Gax followed the animals. They found Bear and Kest scratching at a panel in the wall. When the engineer opened it, they discovered the problem immediately. The cables had been sabotaged. There must be infiltrators on board. The engineer quickly began repairs while Bear and Kest stood guard, their ears perked for any sound. Suddenly, Kest's scales bristled and Bear's fur stood on end. They both turned to face a shadowy corner just as two figures in stealth suits appeared, weapons raised. Bear's "play with me" bark was gone, replaced by his serious guard dog voice. Kest's usual cheerful chirp had become a threatening hiss. The saboteurs hesitated, faced with two very angry animals. That moment of hesitation was all it took. Bear and Kest moved with perfect coordination. No playfulness now, just the protective instinct both species had bred into their companions over generations. Bear knocked one intruder down while Kest used 4 of his 6 legs to tangle up the other. Security teams quickly arrived to arrest the saboteurs, while the engineer completed the shield repair just in time to protect them from another pirate attack. "Now this is true combat," Gax declared proudly, watching Bear and Kest work together to help search the ship for any remaining infiltrators, though perhaps not in the way we originally thought. The next hour was chaos, but the good kind. The animals' enhanced senses helped find 3 more hidden intruders. Meanwhile, the combined human and alien fleet drove off the pirate ships, working together as smoothly as their pets did. After the threat was over, Bear and Kest received an official commendation in a ceremony that both species attended. They were awarded medals, which they tried to eat. "You know," Gax said privately to Jack during the celebration, "we were right all along about them being warriors, just not in the way we thought." Jack watched Bear accepting belly rubs from both humans and aliens, while Kest showed off his new medal by prancing around the room. "They fight by bringing people together," Jack replied, "making us better than we are alone." Indeed, Gax looked around at the humans and aliens mingling freely, sharing stories, and comparing notes on pet care, though they still called it combat companion maintenance in official reports. Bear and Kest had settled down for another nap, the formal medals forgotten as they curled up together, protectors at peace. An alien official approached with a data pad. "Commander, how should we classify today's events in our report?" Gax straightened up officially, recorded as an outstanding demonstration of synchronized tactical response by our elite combat companions. They paused, then added with a slight smile, "And note that the human-alien bond between these warriors has proven most effective." The official nodded seriously and walked away, while Bear started snoring and Kest purred in his sleep, 2 friends who had just happened to save the day. 1 month after the space pirate incident, the alien flagship's observation deck had been permanently converted into what they now officially called the Interspecies Combat Companion Training Center. Everyone else just called it the Space Dog Park. Jack watched as Bear and Kest supervised a group of alien diplomats who were learning the sacred Earth ritual of throwing tennis balls. The aliens had installed gravity controls that could be adjusted for optimal fetch trajectories, as they put it in their reports. "Your form is incorrect, Ambassador," Commander Gax instructed an alien throwing a ball. You must exclaim, "Who's a good warrior?" when they return with their tactical equipment. The Space Dog Park had become the heart of human-alien relations. Important diplomatic meetings were now scheduled around pet playtimes. Both species found it much easier to negotiate trade agreements while watching their pets play together. The official treaty signing is tomorrow, Jack reminded Gax as they watched Bear, teaching a young alien pet how to play tug-of-war. Are you ready? Indeed, Gax replied, adjusting Kest's bow tie. They had officially classified bow ties as Class A combat accessories in their military regulations. Though I must admit, I'm more excited about the other announcement. The other announcement was the inauguration of the first interspecies pet adoption program. After discovering their shared love of animal companions, both species had worked together to create a system where humans could adopt alien pets and aliens could adopt Earth dogs. Commander, an excited alien rushed up to them. The first batch of what humans call puppy training videos has arrived. Our analysts are studying them now. Through the doorway, Jack could see a room full of serious-looking alien officials taking detailed notes while watching videos of puppies learning basic commands. They had insisted on calling it early-stage warrior development protocols. Bear and Kest trotted over, carrying their favorite shared toy, a modified frisbee that could hover and change colors. The aliens had developed it as a tactical training device, but everyone knew it was just a really cool dog toy. You know, Gax said, watching the two friends play, when we first arrived at Earth, we thought we were looking for the fiercest warriors in the galaxy. Instead, you found dogs. Jack laughed. We found something better. Gax smiled with all four eyes. We found that both our species had learned the same lesson, that true strength comes from the bonds we form. Even if some of us insist on calling those bonds tactical attachments in official documents. Suddenly, a small human girl who was visiting the ship with her diplomatic parents came running up to Kest. Without hesitation, the alien pet gently nuzzled her hand while Bear wagged his tail in welcome. See, Jack gestured to the scene. A month ago, that would have been unthinkable. Now it's just a normal day in the Space Dog Park. Indeed, Gax checked something on their datapad. By the way, the request you submitted, it's been approved. Jack's face lit up. Really? They're letting me adopt one. Yes, a new clutch of Kest species just hatched. You and Bear can select one next week. Gax paused. And I've been approved to adopt something called a Corti. Bear, did you hear that? Jack called out. You're getting an alien sister. Bear's response was to roll over for belly rubs, causing 3 alien officials to rush over with their datapads to document the ritual combat roll technique. As the sun set outside the observation windows, the Space Dog Park was filled with the sounds of happy animals and their equally happy owners from 2 different worlds. In one corner, an alien was learning how to use a pooper scooper, classified as tactical waste management equipment, while a human family was learning how to brush an alien pet's scales. Commander Gax made one final note on their official report. Day 30 of human-alien relations. Combat companions continue to exceed all expectations in promoting peace and understanding. Request permission to install more belly rub stations and increase the ship's tennis ball inventory. Then they looked around to make sure no one was watching, pulled out a treat from their pocket, and gave one each to Bear and Kest. Good warriors, they whispered with a wink. Bear and Kest just wagged their respective tails. 2 friends who had helped bridge the gap between worlds, one play session at a time.